In the Holy Bible, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 18, we are commanded to give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. With all of the worry and angst and anxiety going on regarding the economy and the world events these days, it's easy to lose sight of this, but I never want to lose sight myself personally of the thanks that I need to give every single day, not only to God for my life and the blessings in it, but also to you guys for showing up here every single day, watching the videos, commenting, engaging. It is absolutely one of the most wonderful blessings in my life. Those of you who've showed up over the Patreon channel, we have a brand new video for you guys today. And I'll warn you, it's probably going to ruffle some feathers. It's only $1 over there per month, and that gives you everything. All of the brand new training that started on 9 December till now, and then also all the way back in 2018 and 19, all of the old playlists for all of the old training, all available. Almost 125 videos for $1 per month. Trust me, one or two videos, you'll definitely get your money worth. Would love to have you there. Now, this is the most recent, part 3, men's survival during shit hits the fan. Having a woman by your side will give you an edge. I'm sure a lot of guys like Florida Maki have tried that. Tried that twice, actually, and it didn't work. Well, God said that in Genesis, it was not good for man to be alone. And he never said quit, and he never said give up just because it was difficult. You can make it happen. It'll give you an edge. We detail why in this video over at Patreon. Would love to have you there. Having someone you can go into a quiet room with, sit down, cup of coffee, maybe a beer, and talk with is going to be more valuable than gold. It's going to be more valuable than dried beans. It's going to be more valuable than your ballistic weapon. Trust me on this one. Having someone who has your back, another set of eyes, a different perspective that you can gain a trust relationship with, that is going to be something that is going to be rarer than, well, gold. Join us. Now, in today's video here, I know this seems like a big divergence, but trust me, this is actually tied to it. This is actually tied to a story in the Bible. A lot of people here on this platform look at puppy and kitten videos, and it's kind of a pejorative, and they say this is all YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. It's all they want you to see. They don't want you to talk about anything serious. They don't want you to know the truth. They just want you looking at inane things like puppies and kittens and cooking shows and all this kind of stuff. That's true. You see, but they don't understand why somebody who would enjoy puppies and kittens would enjoy things that are, well, edgy or difficult or maybe just something that wouldn't make you feel good. I mean, how could you watch the Florida Maki with everything he talks about and then also enjoy a cooking show? It doesn't make sense to them. The reason it doesn't make sense to them is that they don't understand the duality of man. How could you watch The Patriot Nurse and then also just go to happy wedding videos or Southern Prepper? It seems like it would be a sign of schizophrenia. It's not. It's absolutely not. They just don't have a concept yet of the duality of man that was spoken of in the Bible. And stick around, Bible thumpers, by the way. I've got a question for you guys at the end, and I don't think you can answer it, because I've already asked it twice in other videos, and nobody has even tried to answer the question. See, they put out, YouTube does charts like this, to talk about the most popular categories: music, entertainment, games, of course, right at the top. Down at the bottom, news, how-to, sports. Makes people believe that these are discrete groups of people. Well, it's not. A lot of people come to different channels and watch 5 or 6 music videos in a row, listen to the music, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 if it goes on autoplay. But then they'll tune into a news program, 20, 25 minutes long. Well, the algorithm will show that music is way more popular. This person listened to 8 songs. They only listened to one news show. Does that mean that the news show is 8 times less important than the music? No. You might not have even been in the room for the music. It might have just been on autoplay. But you see, their algorithms can't figure that out. Now, pay attention. This is where it's going to kind of glue together. Remember about a week or two ago when I shared this music video, Sonia Isaacs from the gospel group, the Isaacs, the trio, and her husband, Jimmy Yeary, sharing a song that he wrote called The Devil Led Me to Jesus, basically describing the yin and yang of man, how we want to do good, and in our mind we think we can do good, but sometimes we just do bad, and we don't know why. And I know everyone out there knows what I'm talking about. We love to talk about the good, but yet we also have this other thing in us that we can't really shake sometimes. Now, does this make sense? Some people are already shaking their heads. Wait a minute. Isn't this that scene, that real seedy scene from The Getaway? Well, sure it is, but it describes a Bible story. Florida Maquis. It does not describe a Bible. Well, sure it does. Who remembers the story of the woman caught in adultery? Who remembers that story? And how Jesus said, "He who is without sin, cast the first stone." Everybody left. He told her, "Go and sin no more." And she got off scot-free. See, this is part of that question I was referring to. How could this be? That there would be no punishment for this crime? You see, that's exactly what was talked about here in The Getaway. We love to talk about terms like independence, truth, trust, in ambiguous kind of cloudy terms, but when we see someone exercising independence, finding their own truth, and establishing trust in a way that doesn't agree with our senses, then there's a problem. There's a disconnect. You see, the Bible exists independent of culture, and culture can exist independent of the Bible. But that doesn't mean the two aren't directly related. You see, Paul said, "For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not do, that I do. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from this body of death? I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then, with the mind I myself serve the law of God, but with the flesh the law of sin." And I'm sure a lot of people are already confused. What does this have to do with puppies and kittens and censorship? You see, they just don't get it. That in their audience, they have people, human beings, that have a dualistic existence, that can appreciate a little fluffy kitten giving a basset hound a little boop on the nose, and then they can turn on The Getaway. And they don't understand how that can come from both places. You see, here's the real key to this story. This little fluffy kitten, it's what everybody wants. Everybody wants this fluffy kitten life. But then everybody also knows they want the truth. See, they want the reassurance sometimes of things like puppies and kittens and things that don't make us think about the hard truth all the time. But eventually, you will gravitate toward the truth, no matter how horrible it is. People want to know what the truth is. That's what this is really all about. That's what this entire story was about. This character from The Getaway felt more like she was being held hostage by her husband in her life because it was so boring and so perfect and so arranged than she did when she was actually held hostage by a guy with a gun. And that's the reality of that dualistic existence. And that's where that trust came from. Now, who remembers, and this is where the question comes in, the story of the woman caught in adultery in the Bible, where they were going to throw stones and they were going to enforce the law. There was no doubt as to the woman's guilt. But Jesus intervened. And he said, "He who is without sin, cast the first stone." Everybody dropped their stones, they left, and there was no punishment. He just told the woman, "Go and sin no more." Now, nobody ever asks that question. Why did he let her off without not even an admonishment, but just tell her to go and sin no more? But when he found men who were in the temple selling doves, overcharging people, one moment, please. Sorry about that. Why did Jesus react so viscerally and angrily? Where was the Jesus that let that woman off scot-free? Why couldn't he have just come into the temple and said, it's not right that you guys are overcharging people. You need to lower your prices. Or in some cases, maybe just let him have it for free. See, these guys were abiding within the law of the time. Yet, does this look like somebody offering forgiveness with a scourge? See, this is a question that a lot of Christians don't want to ask about what the difference is between the two. And there's a huge difference. There's a major difference because, well, I'll let the comments section handle this one. I've been praying about this for a long time, and God finally revealed it to me. But I'm not going to try to intervene on other people's behalf with God. Pray and ask God, why? Why would Jesus seem to be a hypocrite here? Is there a degree of sin? Are there greater sins? Are there lesser sins? Which sins aren't worthy of forgiveness? Which sins are worthy of heavy punishment? Which sins are we just to let them off scot-free? Apologies. Cultures have changed over a long period of time. And 100 years ago, what was seen as sin is not now. There are things that are seen as sin now that weren't then. It's a very, very odd thing. But these are the kinds of things that you can't really discuss texting or emailing. It's somewhat easier to have a one-sided conversation with a YouTube video and images. But without the ability to hash this kind of stuff out, we'll be lost. Those who try to do it by themselves will be even more lost. So I'll leave it there. I just wanted to share this video today and open up this discussion and see what people have to say. So I will leave it there. But once again, thank you to everyone who's joined us over at Patreon. $1 per month. That's all. Would love to have you over there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.